Hey, Allie. Um, I know you gotta work today. Um, so listen to this when it feels like appropriate for you. If you don't want to listen to it before work, I understand. But I just feel like, oh, I fucking hate the glare on my glasses. Oh, I hate it. Sorry. Okay, so I woke up this morning and I'm like processing some stuff that kind of happened this week, and you came to my mind as I was like sitting here, like I'm sitting here talking out loud, okay, to myself, processing this stuff. And then you came to my mind because of recent things that you've like told me or talked to me about regarding sexual trauma. Okay, so that's what I'm going to talk about. So you decide if you want to listen to this now or later, whatever. All right. So that guy, Greg, he cut me off. um, I was, he basically, a few weeks ago, was basically saying that all he could really offer if I was interested was like friends with benefits. I wasn't very interested, but I thought, well, maybe I need to loosen up and like, if we could get to know each other, maybe things could just kind of like naturally go there and I wouldn't have to be all like uptight about it. Maybe we'd end up liking each other. I don't know. So I was like trying to be open, but he doesn't even, I mean, he lives like 35, 40 minutes away. So I'm not like, oh, we're going to like start hooking up right now. Okay. So I wasn't like thinking, oh my God, we have to like do this now or anything. I was telling him I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with that. I'd like to hang out and all that. Okay. Well, so we kept talking for a couple weeks, and it's like I was liking him more and more. And then I had like a break at the shop, and I wasn't working for whatever, a week or two, and I was still getting up early for holiday. And then last week I went I started working at the shop. I went back, worked a couple days, and I was working at holiday, so I was really tired. By like Thursday, I woke up and I was really, really tired. Hadn't been sleeping very much, and I was feeling vulnerable, emotional. And I started thinking, like, shit, I kind of like him. And I'm feeling a little bit triggered. Um, I don't even remember. I was telling him, look, I'm feeling vulnerable, emotionally vulnerable. And, can we just like kind of check in with each other? And I just want to have a couple like things I want to talk about, but it's not like I just want to clarify. I just want to smooth things out. I want to make sure I'm not misunderstanding something. So anyway, it was about some specific things, and and so I had sent him like a little voice message about that, and he got back to me. I was asking if we could speak directly on the phone. Okay, that's what I was asking for. Can we not do this messaging back and forth? It's just getting to be a lot. Can we talk on the phone just to talk about what I wanted to bring up? He gets back to me with a voice message, and he's like, oh, I understand. I'm so sorry you've been going through all this stuff. And I didn't realize, you were stuck in your head so much. And, I didn't want to trigger you, and I don't want to lose you in any way. We can absolutely talk. I can't say it's going to be today because I'm really busy, but, it'll be soon. We'll be able to talk soon. Okay. All right. That was Thursday morning. Friday, I mean, that was fine. We didn't have to talk that day. Friday, at some point, I asked if he would have time to talk that day. He said he'd get back to me. He was heading to work. Okay, didn't get back to me at all Friday. Didn't contact me Saturday. Sunday, I think there was something going on with my dog one of those days. Maybe it was like Friday or something. So and then at the same time, something was going on with his cat. So we were kind of talking about that and like the vet, but we didn't talk about, what I want to talk about. Saturday comes, Sunday evening, he sends me a message, like while you and I were together, he sends me a message and is like, how's George? How's your dog? What the fuck? When are we going to talk? So after I got back home from being with you, I was messaging him and I was telling him, look, I'm okay. It's, I didn't really lose all this sleep. I don't want you to think that, oh, this stuff is making me lose sleep. I was tired because of the jobs and having to get up at like 3:30 in the morning and then going to the other job until like 9 o'clock or whatever at night. So I'm like, I'm not stressing like that or anything, but can we work in like video chats or phone calls with our communication so it's not always messaging? He won't even acknowledge that I'm asking this anymore, okay? So he like flipped from this compassionate person, this understanding person who was willing to, work with me and blah blah blah. So thankful that I reached out and, I'm being mature about this or whatever. To completely ignoring my request to talk um directly. And then he's like, you said you were losing sleep, like it, and then I had said, like, he just wasn't, anyway, it was like going back and forth and misunderstanding, and I'm asking, can we clear this up? And he's just completely not even acknowledging that I'm saying let's talk on the phone. And then he's like, you know what, I think I'm done here. And I'm like, what do you mean you're done here? What are you talking about? I thought we were like trying to be friends. Like, what are you done with? Friends? I don't even understand. What are you talking about? We're not even dating. We're not doing anything other than talking. And now you're just done here? And then he's like, oh, you got some healing to do, and it's so obvious and stuff, and I hope you go do it. And it's like, whoa. I mean, it was harsh. It wasn't necessary. Um, if you're just talking about like two people trying to be friends, I don't even understand why we had to stop being friends. But it triggered some stuff, and um I've been hearing about just like one. I don't even remember where I heard this. I think it was in a reading I was watching. Someone talking about sex or trauma dumping, okay? I didn't really know what that was when I heard it, and then the person was explaining it and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And today I'm sitting here processing all these different things because when I went to that magic class and we went out to that restaurant I went out with a group of people. Those two other women were doing a little bit of the trauma dumping, and one more than the other. The one you didn't meet was doing it more than the other, and I was kind of like, this is like. Plus, she's talking about like, I don't know, really things that I don't even know about that aren't even like, they're like otherworldly, and I was getting like, whoa, this is like a lot, and it's kind of confusing. So I just wasn't associating all these things I just like, I didn't link it together, okay? I know, maybe you feel like get to the point. This it's kind of all the point because because it's how I got there, and I really felt like I'm supposed to share something with you. I don't know if you hear those sirens in the background. That's a confirmation to me that the, I'm telling you something that accurate that you need to hear. What I mean by accurate is that, yes, I'm supposed to pass this on to you, okay? So, I've had a lot of sexual trauma in my life. A lot. And every relationship I've had, for the most part, maybe not every 100% of them, I'd say 90, 95% maybe, I have, told them about my traumas. I thought that that was opening up. I thought that was sharing myself. I thought that was what people do in relationships. Now I'm understanding that that is trauma dumping. And it's a sign that there's healing that needs to be done. And first of all, let me say, Greg, and I told him this, neither one of us is in a position or has the right to tell the other person, to judge the other person on the progress of our healing. Period. I told him that. I don't give a shit what his thoughts were on that. He didn't respond. I'm glad. It's smart of him. Don't. Because he's not going to like what he's going to get back. He didn't even like me requesting it for us to talk. So smart of him not to respond. And I told him the fact that he feels he can do that shows me, plus other things he's shown me, he has some healing to do as well. But I'm not bashing him, and I'm not sitting here pointing things out or telling him what he needs to do. That's not my place. That's not my role. My role was to be a friend and be supportive, not to be judging on his progress. So I'm glad that worked out the way it did, because I wouldn't want to screw that person. I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with that person. And if his friendship can just be cut off like that because he's not getting his way, and I have a request and I have needs, and he's just like, I'm not even going to acknowledge your fucking needs now. Like, I don't even want somebody like that. That's not a friend at all. So if you come across people like that, cut those people fucking loose, cuz they're not worth the stress that they're bringing, or the confusion, or whatever the fuck they're trying to do. They're not worth it. But I see that I have sabotaged relationships. I've sabotaged opportunities, and I didn't realize it. And I never really linked. You're the first person I think that's really like been able to verbalize like your trauma, like label it as sexual trauma. I've kind of always heard people say more like they've gone through traumatic experiences. That's how I say it. Like, I've been through a lot of traumatic experiences. Now, I've had a lot of therapy. I've been in therapy since I was like 12, I think. And I'm 50. Pretty much almost all of those years, maybe a couple years here, a couple years there, I wasn't, but almost all of them. So I've been in a lot of therapy, not with the same therapist, and different kinds of therapies. The one I'm in, the therapist I have now is through a domestic abuse place. And so I was in a group first, and now I'm just with the therapist. And we talked about trauma and all this stuff. Now, another reason why you came to my mind is because I'm sitting here thinking, how in the hell, I'm an intelligent person. I have been through lots of therapy. I have done a lot of work on myself. I've been around other people who've done a lot of work on themselves. How the hell did I not link this shit? How did I not understand? Because I probably even did fucking homework on this shit. I have done a lot of homework, writing shit out and all this and sharing it in groups or whatever, you know? How did I not figure this shit out? How did I not understand I was dumping my shit on people? That was probably like dumping a bag of red flags on the floor. How did I not get, you know how? Because I kept myself in a fog because it's painful. But what I'm understanding now, and it was after this thought that you started popping into my mind, and something was telling me, I need to pass this on to you. So I was high most of the time I'm in therapy, right? I believe that I was like so clouded in my thinking that I didn't, part of me like did not link these things together. It's like they were all separate. And I didn't really see how they were necessarily like affecting the next thing or how they all tied together. I just thought I was getting rejected. Um, I didn't see how that had to do with what I was sharing. I was reacting to things. I figured, oh, this person, you know, they can't handle me or we're not compatible. I wasn't really seeing how it all kind of goes together. And it makes sense that I mean, to some people it would make sense, right? Why was I high all the time? Why was I doing that all the time? To avoid the pain, right? To numb myself, right? But you know what's more painful is sabotaging. It's more it's more painful to not understand that what I'm it's more painful to not understand the disservice I'm doing to myself. It's more painful to experience rejection over and over and over and not understand why. It's more painful to share all this with someone and then be rejected at some point. Maybe not right after I shared. Maybe that's why I didn't link some of this stuff. Um, to then be rejected and then beat up on myself again. And that happened for so long because I kept myself in the clouds, and it's more painful than facing it in a sober way. It's more painful. Maybe it's, maybe I'm not saying that when I first experienced things, that if I wouldn't have numbed myself and I faced it, it's just my journey. I'm not beating myself up because I spent 30 years in the dark. I'm not going to do that. That's just the way it happened for me. But you don't have to do it for 30 years. So if you are being guided to reconsider, depending on substances, there's reasons for that. It's not just, yes, you want to be more productive. Yes, you want to be focused. Yes, all of those things, all the reasons that you were telling yourself, yes, those are valid reasons to not use if you're feeling like you don't want to or you don't need to or whatever, okay? Yes, those reasons are valid. And it's not facing those things in a sober way isn't going to hurt as much as it will to keep yourself numb and to continue sabotaging things and to continue to be rejected and not understand why, and to continue to attract people you don't want. And years and years and years go by. If you are being guided to rip off that band-aid and start facing things and not numbing yourself, then I don't know, the universe, God, your ancestors, your higher self, something, someone, you will be okay. You will be okay. And you can be really brave. And I don't know, for some reason, I think there's like a movie, like there's a movie, I think it's called Brave, where there's like a redheaded girl. I've never seen it. Um, I don't know if it's like a Disney movie or something like that. I think it's called Brave, and there's a redheaded girl I'm seeing right now in my head. And I'm hearing that's you. You can be brave. And if this isn't the time, if I'm hearing plant a seed has been planted. So maybe this is just supposed to plant a seed. Maybe this is something you've already heard before and maybe you just needed a reminder. But you're brave and you can do this. And I would suggest going with, you know, what you've been guided towards. If things keep, not working out for some reason, that's a sign it's not supposed to. What I mean is, if, I don't know, well, you sell, so I was gonna say, if you can't, if like me, right? So let's say I'm trying to buy some weed or something, right? And this person's out and that person's not available and this person I can't get a hold of, whatever. Okay, shit, it's not fucking working out. I mean, if you got it on you all the time, I don't know. But if every time you want to do it, like there's something that keeps coming, like getting in the way, or you got a phone call, or now you got to leave, or oh shit, you forgot it, or you lost your pen, or what, hey, those are signs. Those are signs. Put it to the side for a minute. Put it to the side for a day, or take an hour and that you have a clear head and do some reflection or something. I don't know, but you're a lot braver than you realize. And you deserve things to come to you, and you shouldn't have to wait years and years and decades. You shouldn't have to do that. Um, and you don't have to. So, anyway, this is going on and on and on. So, that's hopefully this will make sense. You'll get something out of it. And, okay, bye.